Another week, another box. You know, actually, I don't think I showed off the playmat now, did I? So, let's see. What's up here? We've got Hasbro. And down there, yeah, what's the Emperor grasping as Arachne's taking him out, right? So this was right when Magic 30 came out, and God, it was a fun experience, I suppose, trying to get them to be okay with printing this. Oh, lots of revisions. I'm glad I didn't have to like change too much. It's obviously the Hasbro wording, right? No letters changed, and the MTG icon, just a color scheme change. But yeah, fun. Was my sentiments at the time, right? Because that was about the resurgence of Fab started, and obviously the hatred towards MTG and Magic 30. Anyway, on to Crew, which I have actually opened a decent chunk of, and I still actually have a decent chunk of. I think out of the 3 sets in terms of Unlimited, I've got the most boxes of Crew left. But I don't, to be honest, I don't have the greatest feeling towards sealed Flesh and Blood long term. I don't think it's gonna amount to much, right? Because of the way everything is being designed and sort of steered towards just the better products, right? Because it nice and simple, right? What we're getting now are severely more refined compared to what we got in the first few sets, right? Conceptually and thematically, I do like the early sets, but, you know, set cohesion, I do feel is significantly better in new sets in terms of, obviously, you know, nostalgia drafts or whatnot, and also print sizes, right? Yeah, I don't think. There's a reason they've stayed stable. Okay, so everything's at the back. That's a great way to start, right? Foil Kasai, pretty decent. I think I'm missing her. I know I have Tabadon and Benji, but everything's at the back, right? There are ours. Yeah, okay, so everything's at the back. We start off with a nice, gorgeous foil Kasai, who's probably going to rotate out. Blood on our hands is also the topic of contention, right? Because new Kasai and gold rather than copper, which also seems kind of weird. Again, all they need is some sort of adjoining card where, you know, you can trade gold for copper. I mean, that would be insane, right? You get 1 gold token and then you get to trade it for, I don't know, 3, 4 copper. It would be a decent enabler. Okay, so all we care about is at the back, right? So Farthing Helix for a foil, and then another Kasai, okay, and a Chain Lightning for our M. I don't think Chain Lightning is that great. There was an interesting interaction that we had with a game recently, right? So you may play your next wizard non-attack action this turn as though it were instant. If you play another wizard attack action this turn, this deals 3 arcane damage to each opposing hero. So why did that trigger multiple times in one of the games? In UPF, that would be insane, right? I mean, so, okay, this is another thing we should probably talk about. Also, tier tabs. Completely forget, right? I'm just here trying to brute force the packs. We have so many drips and drabs of everything else going, right? We know PvE is not in 2024, unfortunately. We know it's heavily focused on the competitive scene still, and sorting out Living Legend, right? We are getting, you know, a few things for casual in terms of heavy hitters being draft, pit fight, and this new limited format. The more I think about it, the more I'm iffy. Do we need like all these different avenues, or do we just need refinement and something concise for all levels of play? And yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, right? Because it feels like they should really be, you know, focusing on something rather than continuing to just try to grow rampantly. Like, the easiest way to summarize it, to me at least, is they have to squash like 20 years of TCG development into 5 years. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, in all honesty. Meet and greets, gorgeous looking card. Again, just the Arcane Rising, it's better for foils because a lot of the cards have, you know, little streaks in that, which can just be accentuated perfectly with how they foil. Gaze the Ages, and a Crane Dance. Sorry, I'm a bit far away, right? And also I'm messing this up. M goes there, R's go there, foils go there. Okay. Oh. Back 3. Oh, Mandible Claws. Rousing Aether for a foil, and then just 2 Rs. Arcane Charge, sure. Command Conquer was in Arcane Rising, right? Yeah. Oh, another foil equipment. Nebula Blade. Cindering Foresight, and then a Towering Titan, right? Another interesting take for, you know, the new sort of bigger Guardian, I should say. Right, they are foils. Thought I messed up again. But even weapons are probably a point to talk about. I think I should, well, at this point I probably would have already done a video, because, well, it's easier to record these in advance. Then the discussions, I have to think about what I want to do. Okay, so foil is Emerging Dominance, and then just 2 more rares. I mean, we pulled both Wizard M's. I don't think they're that great, right? Because Wizard isn't that fantastic in Constructed, and then Kano's also on the way out in Blitz at the moment. Absorption Dome, right? Some of the only arcane prevention for Mechanologist, so that's nice. KO. Why do I keep wanting to say KO? Anyway, KO. I'm hoping we see, you know, like a wager KO in heavy hitters. I think that would fit really well. And, you know, it's time that some of these other offbeat heroes, you know, get a spotlight. And, you know, it's the easiest way to sort of create new without creating new, if that makes sense. Gorgarian Tome, beautiful, right? Definitely need for almost every one of my decks, because I like combo decks. And this is obviously just a -1 to your deck. Yeah, it's bad because the draw stage is at the end of your turn, so if you draw into it, then it's, you know, -1 card to block with, but still, I think the upside is fairly worth it, right? Shaving off 1 card is pretty big. Flying Kick for the foil, and then a high-speed impact. But yeah, so Valda is the Guardian one, right, that has been touched. It would just make sense, and they all seem like, you know, people who'd show up in the arena, more or less. Okay, halfway through. No sneaky Fable like the Arcane Rising box, unfortunately. Towering Titan, High Speed Impact, and a Plasma Barrel Shot. That's another thing. I'm thinking about different weapon choices for some of the decks. Okay, Brutal Assaults. Another M by way of Righteous Cleansing. And a Dauntless. So, weapon-wise, right? When Dash goes, old Dash is tied to the Teklo pistol, right? I know New Dash wants the Plasma, but the pistol still performs better in New Dash. So that's going to suck, right? Having that hit LL. And then, obviously, across the board, if Teklo, God forbid, ever gets and we lose the 1 Evo weapon, right, that would suck too. And it's just so interesting to think about. Is it necessary, right? Because when they added weapons to the Living Legend, it was like, oh yeah, that's cool, all right? A lot of the heroes have this staple weapon like Anthros with a Bravo, but nowadays it's just, there's a lot more crossover. These also from Japan, they're so slippery. Hit and run. Oh, Massacre. I'm losing my place, that's a common. That's a foil, and that's an M. Fun of having a dog, right? Especially a Jack Russell Cross Chihuahua, but anything that goes by. But yeah, weapons. So on the opposite spectrum, you have Max, right? Whose weapon is a specialization of Visette. And you can see they're sort of like testing the waters, because that would make a lot more sense if weapons are LL'd. But then you have a ton of heroes where the weapon is more of like an archetype support, but it's still tied to that hero. And, you know, it'd be a pain in the ass if it and when it is removed, unless, you know, they print something else to fix up that shortcoming. It's just so confusing, right? So much to think about, so much to consider, and we just don't know what's going on. And it's not a great thing to feel when it comes to a card game, right? Because as bad as MTG is, you know, we can expect what they're going to reprint. Well, look at the top list. Fab, not so much. You just don't know what's on the chopping block, what's in their mind, what's going to happen, and you know, it's a leap of faith at that point. Especially, you know, someone, not me, because I don't buy, you know, large amounts of boxes or anything like that, but sort of invest, because the secondary market is, you know, another heartbeat of Fab that they've built up, and the wrong step, the wrong move, and just completely just fall apart, right? I guess that's sort of why they're so conservative with the expansion slot. Again, I feel like it should focus on a lot more. The competitive element is the biggest part of Flesh and Blood, right? So we're sort of moving away from collectability. Yeah, you'll step on people's toes, but, you know, reinforcing that and building up people, building up classes so that everything is more viable, I think should take precedent, right? The expansion slot should be not flavorful cards. Looking at the 2 Arachne cards, right? The dagger's cool. It's just flick knife support. It's sort of misplaced. I feel like it would be significantly better if it was something like, I don't know, Tiger Fang. You have to banish a crouching tiger from your hand. Same effect, same exact effect, but just the cost is different. And it was for Ninja, right? Because Ninja, with something like Benji, or even just the way they're set up, is a little bit better at, you know, doing a ton of stuff with their weapon. Arachne's, you know, contract swing, or swing contract, with the case of the older weapons. So yeah, just feel like they could easily just print, not direct power creep for meta decks, but they could bring everything more in line, and they're, again, just a bit reserved with it. Crater Fists for our foil M, so I think that is a decent one, right? Because again, this is the go-to arms for Guardian, is it not? Pay 3, destroy. Attacks with Crush gain 2 this turn. Yeah, because your attacks, rather than just, well, one off. Was it Stubby Hammerers? Oh god. Even that, like, there'd be so many decks where Stubby Hammerers wouldn't be overpowered and be fun in, but, you know, the issue with Flesh and Blood is it's so expensive. That, and their take on it is, if something is bad for one, it's bad for all. So, well, what to do other than, you know, restrict it from everyone? And that's the same feel again with LLing weapons. You're taking the fun out of all these other heroes, all these other possible decks, and it's just, is it worth it? Well, time will tell, and depending on what they reprint, that will also make the point. Okay, last few. Predatory Assault, Beast Within. God, I see so many Beast Withins. I feel like I have, like, you know, 15 copies somewhere. I pull one almost every single box. If you look through, because I did a decent chunk of crew on the channel, I think. Almost every box has a Beast Within in it, right? Just feels like it's the most common. Okay, lucky last pack. I don't think there was anything substantial in this crew box, unfortunately. Back-to-back Fables would have been great, but oh well. Crush the Week, Rock Slide Trap, and a Lunging Press. Now, I have no idea if I messed up the camera, right? Because I have a bad tendency. I focus on the recording screen, not the camera, you know, recording. But, M's, we got Beast Within, Massacre, Righteous Cleansing, Gorgarian Tome, Gaze the Ages, and a Chain Lightning. And then foils, I don't think we hit too many high, right? The first Crater Fist, do we get any single M? I guess the Bobble's kind of interesting. That was another sort of speculative thing, right? Oh, what are they going to do with Bobbles? Are we ever going to see, you know, this or that? And, yeah. Absorption Dome, other M. I do like all the equipment in foil, so a Nebula Blade, and then a Kasai. Yeah. Too bad. So the LLs, it's going to be worthless, right? Because, again, I don't think the LL format is supported anywhere near enough to actually, you know, make it maintain card utility. Anyway, bit less about the cards we opened, a bit more discussion. Anyway, did I just say anyway like 3 times? I just said it again too. I'm gonna say it again. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. See ya.